Hey everybody, welcome to Immortals Inc. Podcast. I'm Carlos. If you like what you see, give us a like, give us a subscribe, or even if you join, that really helps us out, supports the stream, and gets us going. Today I got Mikey on the mic over there, as always.
Usually
and I got
always
a special guest, Tom.
Special.
My
Very special.
favorite 40K player, and we're here to talk about Adeptus Custodes. Because I walked into is it a poop show? Am I allowed to say poop show?
Yeah, can we get a breakdown?
So basically what happened was, if I understand correctly, Tom, you can stop me at any time because I have very little information about this other than what I've collected over the last 2 days. Adeptus Custodes are the people that guard the Emperor in the 40K universe.
Yes.
They've traditionally been just assumed to be guys. They're not Space Marines, right?
Correct.
They are not actual Space Marines because Space Marines are Space Marines. They're different.
Yes.
They guard the Emperor. They wear fancy gold armor. They stay on the home planet of Terra,
Right.
and they watch everything. Apparently, somewhere along the lines, somebody in GW or somewhere it said that there's now females, or the Custodes.
They dropped a female
Leader.
in the Codex. In the lore, that's it.
That's
As
it.
of right now, there's no models. There's
So-
no data sheets. There's
So you would have thought the world ended because I'm on a lot of these chat groups for like whatever I don't want to give them any plug, but a lot of Facebook chat groups or Discord or whatever, and they're just going crazy. And I'm like, what is the big deal? And they're like, I guess the big deal is like GW supposedly said, which I haven't seen. If somebody could show me the article where they said, yes, it's always been canon. I can't imagine they would just come out and say that, but I'm sure it got interpreted somewhere. But they said it's always been canon that females have been there, but it's always also been said that there's no one ever said that it wasn't any females.
No,
I guess it does. And in the end, it doesn't matter, right?
no. I mean, for all the lore I've looked through and seen online and read, and by all means, there's more lore than I could probably ever go through.
Oh, there's a tremendous amount of lore.
But for everything I've seen, there's a point where it basically says Custodes have always been like handpicked sons of Terra, of like the high nobles, and then they go from there. But at no point, like in like Space Marines, where they're like Space Marines are men, the genetic transformations and everything they go through, like the female anatomy just can't handle it, so they got to be guys.
So that's canon, though.
So that's like
known
hard
canon, yeah. So
same thing with like the sisters. The church came out and they're like, you can't have men at arms, so they're like, okay, we're gonna have a bunch of ladies at arms.
all right, so fair
Battle
enough.
sisters. But I've never seen any place in any of the lore that specifically said, hey, Custodes are all men, period.
Because even in some of the canon where it says sons of whatever, that's what they always refer to as sons or children of, like, the ones I know about are the Imperial Walkers, the Imperial Knights.
Yeah.
They always say that, but then they have male and female captains
absolutely.
and everything. And it
Absolutely.
doesn't matter, you know. Nobody ever said anything. So I'm not really sure where all this, for lack of a better word,
anger.
anger. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
I think really what it comes down to is when this kind of dropped, GW basically came out and just said, oh, it's always been canon, which it hasn't.
But I'd like to see where it said that because, you know,
Yeah.
that's third party, whatever. And it's just it's their product in the end. So they
Right.
wrote a whole codex and they made it canon. So
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, everybody says, oh, they're just kind of you know,
I think they're trying to cater to somebody.
yeah,
What they're trying to say.
catering.
I don't think GW is not
whoever.
GW's never historically been that.
No, and I remember when there was a big push for why aren't there female Space Marine units, and GW legit came out and said, hey, Space Marines are men. They've always been men. They can't be females because of all the genetic modifications and everything that
that's
happens.
their lore and canon, right?
So forth. But also on the flip side, I've never played a game with anyone who said, hey, I modeled this model to be, you know, a whole Space Marine in tutus. Nobody cares.
Like we were just talking, it's our Thursday night group tonight, and it's 40K. We were just talking to all them, and nobody cares. Nobody ever cares. If you show up with a whole Space Marine battalion modeled as females and you kit bashed it, nobody cares.
No, I mean
Nobody
nobody.
really
I have
cares.
a whole orc section of my orc army that's pink because my daughter helped me paint it. And she
Yeah,
painted pink
see,
orcs.
but
Yeah, whatever.
But GW, and you know, back in the old GW days, it was always mostly men, you know,
Yeah.
male figures. And then as time goes on, it's changed. You know, like look, Imperial Guard, it's a lot of females.
Yeah.
It's got a whole sister battalion, sister unit. Tau, there's like a lot of females integrated. Necrons, I think too, right?
Well, Necrons are all robots,
but they're still
they have like female souls. I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and an Eldar.
Drukhari.
Yeah.
I think the only chapter that doesn't
the dwarf
have,
ones. What are the dwarf ones? I know somebody's going to smack me in the face for calling them dwarf.
League of Voltan.
Yeah, League of Voltan.
Yeah, the only chapters or armies that I think don't have females are Space Marines or like Chaos Space Marines, because they blatantly came out and said, hey, like if you're a Space Marine, genetically you can't be a female. But past that, I don't think
orcs.
Well, orcs
are kind of, they're just
orcs
grown. They're plants. So,
orcs are getting boobs.
You can do it. I guess you can do it.
Come to Immortals Inc. with your orcs with boobs.
If you're an orc player, you can do whatever you want to orcs and nobody cares.
Oh, you could make them 7 heads. Nobody cares.
I've seen so many. If you play orcs, and you play them long enough, you're the guy who's making trucks out of sprue parts and everything's completely okay because it's orcs. and there you go.
But Adeptus Custodes, they're kind of like a sub-faction of... There's just a sub-faction. They're like a faction between Imperial Guard and Space Marines.
I wouldn't even say that.
They're their own faction, I guess.
The Custodes have always been their own faction. They're the top tier, the best of the best, they say.
But not Space Marines.
But not Space Marines. They are Custodes.
I do remember reading that like they're not... Because I always thought they were.
Yeah.
What are those, just the lazy Space Marines that don't have to leave? And they're like, no, they're not Space Marines. I'm like,
I mean, technically, in some of the new lore that they started a while back, like in 8th and 9th, they are now leaving to go on operations by themselves.
Yeah.
So, they changed that. So cancel Christmas, I guess. But,
ooh, cancel it. Wait, so who wins in a fight? Custodian or Space Marine?
So in the lore, Custodes are supposed to be worth 1,000 Space Marines. Like a Custodian could take 1,000 Space Marines. In the lore, 2 Custodes have held entire planets against entire orc wars. That's in the lore.
Game mechanics are different.
That doesn't happen here Thursday night?
Yeah. No, it does not. Game mechanics are totally different. You would basically have a guy showing up to the table with one model and being like, okay, let's play a 2,000 point game.
Let's go.
But
coming up
they
Thursday.
They are smaller units. I've seen.
They are.
It is funny to see orcs versus Custodes because you have like a whole table of orcs and you have like 5 guys. All right, go.
yeah. They are a smaller army. They are a more elite army, and it is brought across in the tabletop game, but not to the extent of the lore. So I don't see.
And the lore and the tabletop games are 2 different things. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's almost separate.
Obviously not.
Yeah, I guess not.
No. Well, I mean, if you had the lore, I mean, there's factions going around just exterminating planets. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, problem solved, blow it up.
Okay.
It's just going back to it. It's like I don't understand. It was just a whole lot of getting upset. It's almost embarrassing the way they behave, and it's like, don't. Yeah. That's embarrassing the way you're behaving. Don't do that. That's embarrassing.
From what I've seen,
over nothing.
Yeah, in all of my gaming, I guess career, life, whatever, gamers want change. They want things to be better. They want all these different things to make the game better and evolve and whatnot. But they also hate change when it happens.
Or if they own it.
Yeah, or if they own it. Exactly.
I want that army to be changed because
I also think some of the big hatred is coming from the new Custodes Codex came out. And they lost a lot of their staying power.
Buffness.
Yeah, well, if you ever played against a Custodes army,
no.
It was just 2-up save after 2-up save after 4-up invuln after 4-up feel no pain after, and it was just like how many times do you get to try not to die?
Oh.
And now it's
unbalanced is what you're saying?
A little bit, and now it's going to be they're going to have to actually think a little bit when they're putting their army together instead of going, we're going to have 5 units of Terminators and walk that way.
Tactics.
And hope for the best.
Some of them requires tactics. I mean, but in order to make the game fun for everybody or every army viable, they have to. You
got to balance it out a little.
Because
or add females, I guess.
Boom. There you go.
I don't think. I guess my point is settle down. All right.
Yeah.
It's just lore. It's just a game. Don't be embarrassing and do what you did. I see a lot of stuff, and
they always had the Sister of Silence too. There's always been a section of the Adeptus Custodes that were the Sisters of Silence. That was an all-female faction that worked with the Custodes. So
yeah,
a female Custodes coming out of that has never been like some crazy thought.
Oh, so maybe that's the canon lore. Or
that's
whatever.
right, and
I mean that makes sense. See, it took us whole 9 minutes of talking about it to find out where it may have came from.
There it is. There it
is.
is.
We're idiots. So come on, guys, settle down.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a game.
Yeah.
With plastic figures that you paint and you roll dice at.
And have fun at. You know?
Exactly.
All right. Well.
But feel free to detest in the comments if you feel strongly about this. Let us know. Well, one of us will get back to you and let you know.
Mostly Mikey. It's
Mostly me.
fault.
Yeah. If you see, you'll know.
You know it's him. If it says Immortals Inc. with the little blue skull, that's me.
If it says Tom, it's me.
Oh, there it is. Or they could yell at us live on Thursday.
Yes, because every other Thursday we do live streams. 40K. We've been doing Space Hawk. Episode 3 is actually coming up this upcoming Thursday.
Bring the hate on a Thursday.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can yell at us live. We'll answer all of your Custodes questions.
Tom and Jimmy will answer your questions. So yeah.
Terrible. All right, guys, thanks a lot. If you like what you see, give us a like, give us a subscribe, join us to support us. We have 3 different tiers you can sign up for, or give us a super support.
Yeah, you can watch videos before everybody else, including this one. Our members will be able to watch this one before it actually goes public, including one that I have up right now, including another one. So, and we get to watch Carlos commercials that we can't air because they're banned.
Oh, Tom, did you see those?
I saw those. They are
things I can't. I make cool commercials.
But they'll never get aired. Later, guys.